new funding and to identify projects, predominantly in sub-Saharan Africa, but in poor countries around the world, which could benefit from the injection of sort of short, sharp bursts of capital, seed capital, which would allow them to move forward. And we wanted to do community-based projects because that's where everyone's saying tourism can have its most value. And we have institutionalized it. We have established a foundation in Korea, thanks to the support of the Korean government. We have identified over 150 projects. We have started to seed fund some 45 of them in countries around the world, in Latin America, in the Asia-Pacific region, in the small islands, and several projects in Africa to the tune of about $2 million. It's not as much as we would have liked to have done, but it's a very solid start. And most importantly, we've created a kind of framework within which the development agencies, the SNVs of this world, the Dutch Development Agency, the GTZ, the German Development Agency, have joined together with us and said, instead of duplicating all our efforts, which we're trying to do, and instead of being competitors, let's use the STEP framework to better coordinate what we're doing on the ground.
Well, I'm hearing a lot the expression of pro-poor tourism, and we recently covered some gatherings, conferences that did have participation by the World Bank, Asia Development Bank. I'm not sure if SMV were there, but is that what has partially evolved, this pro-poor tourism initiative, parallel with STEP? I'm not quite sure of the background.
Well, I think putting names on all these things, in a certain sense, does a little bit of a disservice to them. There's no monolithic structure in the world. After the Rio Earth Summit in 1992, everybody was concerned about the planet, and we had a whole set of initiatives right through the 90s. The Johannesburg Summit was about people. This was on the floor. People said, we've got a framework of activity for the planet. Let's not forget the people. And that's where all these initiatives around STEP, responsible tourism, pro-poor tourism, the better use of ecotourism, they all emerged. And they're all saying the same thing. They're all saying that this is a sector which can particularly benefit the world's poorer countries and can particularly do things to help community development. There's a danger that you get stuck on labels, that this one's pro-poor tourism, and then you end up spending all your time arguing about definitions and how many angels do you put on the point of a pin.
The tourism industry and people are pretty adaptive. I mean, you have to survive, so people pretty much adapt. What kind of things will we be hearing and talking about in the next 3 days that will give a better path, if you will, to people's survival instincts and adaptation to not only human survival, but economic survival?